How God speaks through silences. What is God saying when He is silent? When God is silent, what you don't hear can change everything. There's an emotional pain people rarely talk about in church. The silence of God. Not the moments when things are hard, but the moments when things are hard and God says nothing. Are you feeling lost? In tears? Experiencing burnout? Struggling with emotional pain? Being asked what is God saying to you when God is silent? Misunderstood for not hearing clearly? Misunderstood for not praying enough or not seeking God enough? Or maybe you are in a situation where you have worked very hard, but the promotion passed you by. Or maybe you have served with all your heart, but the growth of the people in quantity or quality is less than what you desired. You opened the Bible, reading to find answers. You sought godly counsel and prayers, but God is still silent. You've been praying. You've been pleading. You've been quiet, trying to hear something, anything. But heaven is silent. Feels closed. God feels distant. You have no answer yourself. And deep down, you ask the question no one wants to admit out loud. God, where are you? What is happening? The reality of silence. You continue to draw close to God, kneeling in prayer as time passes you by. You wondered, what's wrong? No signs. No answers. Just silence. And in that silence, the enemy whispers that God is not listening, He is not seeing, that's why He is silent. He doesn't care. You're doing something wrong. But you're not the first to feel this way. Jesus understood silence when He was in the wilderness and when He was on the cross. Joseph understood God's silence. He was in the prison, thinking of the dream and promises God made to him. David wrote his Psalms in tears. David and Jesus ever asked, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Psalm chapter 22 verse 1 and Matthew chapter 27 verse 46 KJV. Job lost everything, and for chapters, God said nothing. Silence isn't absence. It's often the setting for something sacred. Why does God stay silent? Like a teacher watches silently as a student takes a test. A gardener waits patiently as seeds stay hidden beneath the soil. Maybe you've heard this before, the teacher is silent during the test. It's cliché, but true. Silence doesn't mean God is absent. Sometimes it means you're being strengthened, rooted, refined. God doesn't speak to impress you. He speaks to transform you, and sometimes He does it through silence so that you understand what is faith, what you do in the silence. Continue to pray and listen, reading scripture not just for answers, but for His presence. Choosing worship even if feeling empty. What you do in the silence reveals who you trust. What would be the possible exam questions during the test of God's silence? Will you remain faithful when expected results have not yet arrived? What do you do when your prayers go unanswered in the way you want? Will you continue to serve, forgive, love, and give, even when it feels pointless? When God is silent, Whose voice fills the void, yours? Your pain, the world's, or his truth? Will you chase noise, or choose to stay still? Are you willing to seek him till he speaks? Till you see him work in tangible ways? Can you discern the difference between God's silence and his absence? Will you leave the faith, or lean in deeper? Silence is where faith becomes real, not because you feel something, but because you choose him anyway. You choose to choose him above all else, more than what he can do. When God finally speaks, light enters the room. A breakthrough moment, not dramatic, but peaceful. Tears, this time, from peace instead of pain. And then one day, not always with fireworks, not always with words, but with peace, God speaks. And it hits differently because the silence shaped you to finally hear him, not just with your ears, but with your life. Psalm chapter 46 verse 10 KJV, Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen, I will be exalted in the earth. If you're in a silent season, don't give up. Don't walk away. Don't mistake stillness for abandonment. Sometimes the silence isn't God withholding his presence, it's him drawing you closer. Stay. He's closer than you feel, and speaking louder than you think. How you see your situation matters. Are you seeing correctly? Are you seeing through the human lenses or God's lenses? What is God doing in the silent? Look out for the next upcoming video to understand more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. This channel is here to support you, freely, in your emotional and spiritual journey. Share with those you care.